First Contact Protocol. The UES Thunderchild glided silently through the darkness of space, its hull reflecting the distant light of Arcturus. Captain Alina Reyes stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the holographic display hovering before her. The Arcturus mining outpost had sent a distress signal 12 hours ago, then gone completely silent. As the closest military vessel, the Thunderchild had altered course immediately. "Anything on scanners, Lieutenant Chen?" Captain Reyes asked, her voice steady despite the tension lingering in the air. Lieutenant Chen's fingers moved deftly across his console. "Nothing yet, Captain." "Wait." His head snapped up. "Unknown vessel detected at the edge of the system. It's massive." The holographic display shifted, revealing a ship unlike anything in the human database. Its dark hull seemed to absorb rather than reflect light, and numerous protrusions dotted its surface like thorns on a nightmarish rose. The alien vessel was at least 3 times the size of the Thunderchild. "Is it near the mining outpost?" Reyes asked. "Directly adjacent to it, Captain," Chen confirmed. "The outpost appears intact but inactive." Commander Jackson, Reyes' second in command, stepped closer to the display. "Could be a first contact situation. Or a hostile takeover," Reyes countered. She straightened her uniform. "Open communications on all standard frequencies. Let's follow first contact protocol." Communications Officer Rivera nodded. "Channel open, Captain." Reyes cleared her throat. "This is Captain Alina Reyes of the United Earth ship Thunderchild. We are responding to a distress signal from our mining outpost. Please identify yourself and state your intentions." The bridge crew waited in tense silence. After 30 seconds, Rivera shook her head. "No response, Captain." "Try again, different frequency patterns. Add our linguistic package to the transmission." Another attempt. Another failure. Just as Reyes was about to order a cautious approach, the main screen flickered. A figure appeared, humanoid but distinctly alien. Its skin was a pale blue-gray, with ridges running across its forehead and down its neck. 4 yellow eyes blinked in an unsettling pattern. "Human vessel." The alien's voice came through the translator with a metallic undertone. "I am Overseer Thirok of the Kadrak Imperium. Your presence is noted. Your mining installation has been claimed for the Imperium." Reyes maintained her composure. "Overseer, this installation belongs to the United Earth government. We have no record of the Kadrak Imperium or any prior contact. I suggest we discuss this matter peacefully." The alien's upper eyes narrowed. "The Kadrak do not discuss. We claim. We take. Your species is unknown to us, and therefore insignificant. You will surrender your vessel and acknowledge our sovereignty over this system, or we will demonstrate our power." Commander Jackson whispered, "Friendly bunch." Reyes ignored him. "We cannot surrender Earth territory or assets. However, we are authorized to establish diplomatic relations and—" "Diplomacy is for equals," the Overseer interrupted. "You are not our equals. You have one of your planetary rotations to decide. Surrender or face elimination." The transmission cut abruptly. The bridge fell silent. "Well," Reyes finally said, "I guess we know why the outpost went silent. Tactical assessment, Commander." Jackson brought up the sensor readings. "Their ship has energy signatures that suggest weapon systems far beyond our current technology. Multiple launch bays, possibly for fighter craft. Hull composition unknown, but it appears to be some kind of living metal." "Living metal?" Reyes raised an eyebrow. "It's showing cellular activity, Captain," Science Officer Dr. Patil interjected. "Almost like it's breathing." "I've never seen anything like it." Reyes studied the alien vessel. The Thunderchild was a state-of-the-art warship, the pride of Earth's fleet. But against something this size, with unknown capabilities, the odds weren't favorable. "Options, people?" she asked. "We could call for reinforcements," Rivera suggested. "Nearest battle group is 3 days away," Jackson countered. "By then, who knows what these Kadrak might do to the mining colony. There's 200 civilians there. Lieutenant Chen cleared his throat. Captain, I've been analyzing their ship design. Despite its size, there are structural vulnerabilities where those thorn-like protrusions connect to the main hull. If they function as weapon ports, they might be less armored to allow for energy discharge. You suggesting we pick a fight, Lieutenant? Rise asked. I'm suggesting we be prepared, ma'am. Rise nodded slowly. Begin preparations for combat scenarios. But let's try one more diplomatic approach first. Rivera, open a channel. The Overseer's face appeared again, his expression impatient. Overseer Theruk, Rise began. I propose an immediate meeting aboard a neutral location to discuss coexistence in this system. Surely two advanced species can find common ground without resorting to violence. The alien made a sound like grinding stones, possibly laughter. Your confidence is amusing, human. Very well. A demonstration may be educational for you. The Overseer gestured to someone off-screen. Witness the power of the Kadrak. The transmission ended, and immediately alarms blared across the Thunderchild. Energy spike from the alien vessel. Chen shouted. They're firing. Evasive maneuvers. Rise ordered, gripping her chair as the ship lurched to starboard. A brilliant beam of purple energy shot past them, missing by meters. Before anyone could breathe a sigh of relief, the beam curved in space and struck the Thunderchild's aft section. The ship shuddered violently, consoles sparked, and emergency lighting kicked in. Direct hit to Engine Section 3. Engineering reported over the comm. Shields held but at only 40% capacity. How did they do that? Jackson demanded. The beam changed direction mid-flight. Rise watched as the alien weapon retracted back into the Kadrak vessel. They're showing off. Return fire, targeting those protrusions Lieutenant Chen identified. The Thunderchild's main cannons fired, blue pulses of energy streaking toward the alien ship. The shots impacted the hull, creating small explosions that quickly faded. Minimal damage, Chen reported grimly. Their hull appears to be regenerating. The alien ship fired again, this time multiple smaller beams that danced around the Thunderchild like predators circling prey. One struck the communications array, another hit the forward shield generator. Shields at 23%, Jackson called out. We can't take another direct hit from their main weapon. Captain Rice watched the alien ship maneuver with surprising grace for its size. The Kadrak were toying with them, demonstrating superiority rather than going for a killing blow. All power to engines, she ordered. Take us behind Arcturus' third moon. We need cover to regroup. As the Thunderchild accelerated, the alien vessel fired again. This time, the beam split into 3 smaller ones, all tracking toward them. They're predicting our course. Chen shouted. Random evasive pattern, maximum thrust. Rise commanded. The human ship twisted and turned erratically. 2 beams missed, but the third clipped their starboard side. The bridge shook, and several crew members were thrown from their stations. Status. Rise demanded, helping Rivera back to her feet. Starboard weapons offline, Chen reported. Hull breach on Deck 7. Containment fields holding. Engineering to bridge. A strained voice came through. Captain, the main power coupling is failing. We can't maintain this speed much longer. The moon loomed ahead, offering temporary sanctuary. Just get us behind that moon, Chief, Rise replied. Then we can talk about repairs. The Thunderchild limped into the shadow of the desolate gray satellite, its engine sputtering. On the display, they watched the Kadrak vessel maintain position near the mining outpost, not pursuing. They're confident, Jackson observed. They don't think we're a threat. Good, Rise said. Let's use that arrogance against them. She turned to her crew. I need options, people, unconventional ones. The Kadrak have us outgunned and outarmored in a traditional fight. Dr. Paddle stepped forward. Captain, I've been studying the readings from their ship, that living metal hull. It responds to energy weapons by adapting and strengthening itself, like an immune system. So our cannons are just making them stronger? Jackson asked incredulously. Essentially, yes. But every immune system has its vulnerabilities. I need time to identify theirs. Reyes nodded. You've got 1 hour, Doctor. In the meantime, engineering, what can we do about our weapons? Chief Engineer Ortiz's voice came through the comm. Captain, our standard weapons are damaged, but we still have the mining assist equipment on board. The industrial cutting lasers and the magnetic grapples. Those aren't weapons, Jackson objected. No, Reyes said slowly, a plan forming. But they might be exactly what we need. She turned to Rivera. Contact the mining outpost on a tight beam transmission. Let's see if anyone's still alive in there. To everyone's surprise, they received a response, faint and encoded, but definitely human. This is Mining Supervisor Quaim. A strained voice came through. We're alive, but locked down in the emergency shelters. The aliens have some kind of dampening field preventing us from using most of our equipment. Can you access the outpost's defense systems? Reyes asked. Negative, Captain. But there was a pause. We can still operate the automated mining drones remotely. They're not connected to the main systems. A smile slowly spread across Reyes' face. Supervisor Quaim, I think we might have just found our advantage. As the hour passed, the crew of the Thunderchild worked frantically, reconfiguring their damaged ship while Dr. Patil analyzed the alien vessel's characteristics. The plan that emerged was desperate, but it played to human strengths, adaptability, and ingenuity. The Kedrock are hailing us, Rivera announced finally. Reyes straightened her uniform, noting the burn mark on the sleeve. On screen, Overseer Therak appeared, his 4 eyes blinking in that unsettling pattern. Your time expires, human. Have you witnessed enough to understand your position? We have indeed, Overseer, Reyes replied with remarkable calm. And we're ready to discuss terms. The alien's upper eyes widened slightly. Terms? There are no terms, only surrender. I think you'll want to hear our proposal first, Reyes insisted. May I send a representative to your ship? The request clearly surprised the Overseer. You wish to send a delegate. For what purpose? To offer something you might find valuable. Something worth more than this outpost. Curiosity flickered across the alien's features. You may send one unarmed representative. Any deception will result in your ship's destruction. Understood. Preparing shuttle now. When the transmission ended, Jackson turned to Reyes. Captain, you're not seriously sending someone over there. No, Commander, Reyes said with a grim smile. I'm sending something. The human element. In the heart of the damaged UES Thunderchild, Chief Engineer Ortiz worked feverishly on what had once been a standard mining shuttle. Now it was something else entirely, a Trojan horse. Will they detect the modifications? Captain Reyes asked, watching as technicians installed the last components. Ortiz wiped sweat from his brow. The shuttle's signature will read as standard. The Kadrak won't know what hit them until it's too late. Meanwhile, on the bridge, Dr. Patil finalized her analysis. Captain, I've confirmed my theory. The living metal of their hull creates a network defense system. Energy weapons trigger an adaptive response, but physical disruptions, especially to their neural pathways, could temporarily disable sections of the ship. Like cutting nerves, Commander Jackson observed. Exactly, Patel nodded. And I've identified key junction points here, and here. She highlighted several areas on the holographic display of the alien vessel. Lieutenant Chen had reconfigured what remained of their weapon systems. The mining lasers are ready, Captain. They're not as powerful as our main cannons, but they're more precise. Perfect for surgical strikes. And the magnetic grapples? Reyes asked. Modified to deliver electromagnetic pulses on contact. Should disrupt their systems momentarily. Reyes surveyed her crew, noting the determination in their eyes despite their battered ship and overwhelming odds. Humanity had faced extinction-level threats before. Asteroids, climate disasters, plagues. Each time, It was human ingenuity and refusal to surrender that saw them through. Today would be no different. The shuttle is ready, Captain, Ortiz reported from engineering. Launch when ready, Chief, Reyes ordered. And signal Supervisor Quaim. His mining drones should be in position by now. The small shuttle detached from the Thunderchild, drifting toward the imposing alien vessel. Inside, instead of a human delegate, sat a modified industrial cutting unit rigged with explosives and surrounded by the ship's supply of metallic mining microfilaments. Thousands of hair-thin strands designed to reinforce excavation sites, now reprogrammed for a very different purpose. On the bridge of the Kadrak vessel, Overseer Therak watched the approaching shuttle with disdain. These humans were primitives, their technology barely worth studying. Still, their willingness to negotiate after such a demonstration of Kadrak power was satisfying. Perhaps they could be useful servants after the annexation was complete. Overseer, his second-in-command reported, the human shuttle requests docking permission. Our scans detect one small vessel, no weapons. Grant them access. Therak commanded. Prepare a reception detail. I want to see what these creatures look like up close. The shuttle entered the alien ship's hangar bay, landing softly among strange craft with organic curves. Kadrak soldiers surrounded it, weapons ready. When no one emerged after several moments, they approached cautiously. One soldier reached for the door release. On the Thunderchild, Chief Ortiz initiated the sequence. Detonation in 3, 2, 1. The shuttle exploded, not in a fireball, but in a controlled burst that propelled thousands of microfilaments throughout the hangar bay. The metallic strands penetrated the living metal walls, burrowing into the neural pathways of the ship. Simultaneously, the cutting unit activated, slicing through the hangar floor with molecular precision. Alarms blared throughout the Kadrak vessel. Now, Captain Reyes ordered. The Thunderchild emerged from behind the moon, engines straining. Its remaining weapons powered up, but instead of firing at the alien ship, they targeted the space around it. The modified mining lasers activated, cutting precise patterns in the void. For a moment, nothing happened. Then massive automated mining drones emerged from hiding places around the outpost, their industrial cutting tools activated. The drones, controlled remotely by the trapped miners, converged on the Kadrak ship, attaching themselves to the junction points Dr. Patel had identified. Magnetic grapples, Rice commanded. The Thunderchild fired its modified grappling systems, the magnetic heads latching onto the alien hull. Powerful electromagnetic pulses surged through the connections, temporarily disrupting the living metal's neural network. Aboard the Kadrak vessel, chaos reigned. Sections of the ship lost power as the neural pathways were severed. The microfilaments continued to spread, creating short circuits throughout the systems. What is happening? Therak demanded, watching in disbelief as his ship's defenses failed one by one. The humans, his second-in-command reported, voice trembling. They've infected our ship with some kind of parasite, and those machines outside. They're cutting through our hull. On the Thunderchild, Rise watched the operation unfold. Status of the alien weapons. Primary weapons offline, Chen reported. They're trying to bring secondary systems online, but the electromagnetic pulses are disrupting their efforts. Ortiz, Rise called to engineering. Status of Phase 2. Ready, Captain. The chief engineer replied. The mining charges are in position around the outpost. Detonate. A series of explosions rippled through the asteroid field surrounding the mining outpost. The precisely placed charges fractured key asteroids, creating a chain reaction. Thousands of smaller rocks began moving toward the Kadrak ship, gathering speed. What are you doing, human? Overseer Therak's face appeared on the screen, his composure shattered. Demonstrating why you shouldn't underestimate humanity. Rise replied calmly. Your living hull adapts to energy weapons, but how does it handle thousands of kinetic impacts simultaneously? Can it heal fast enough? As if on cue, the first wave of asteroid fragments struck the alien vessel. The living metal attempted to absorb and adapt, but the bombardment was relentless. The mining drones continued their work, cutting deeper into the ship's critical sections. "Stop this," Varrock demanded. "You cannot possibly hope to defeat a Kadrock warship." "We already are," Rice stated. "But I'll offer you the same choice you gave us. Surrender or face elimination." The alien's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. For a species accustomed to overwhelming technological superiority, the concept of defeat by a supposedly inferior race was incomprehensible. A massive explosion rocked the Kadrock ship as one of the mining drones struck a power conduit. Fires erupted across multiple decks. "Your ship is crippled, Overseer," Rice continued. "Your weapons are offline. Your living metal is failing under sustained physical assault. Surrender now, and we can both walk away from this." Varrock's expression shifted through alien emotions: rage, disbelief, and finally, a reluctant realization. How did primitive creatures like you manage this? "That's humanity's greatest strength, Overseer. We adapt. We improvise. When outgunned, we change the rules of engagement. We've been fighting against overwhelming odds throughout our entire history, sometimes against nature itself. It taught us to be creative." Another explosion rocked the alien vessel. Warning lights flashed across its hull. "Overseer," a Kadrock voice called from off-screen, "central neural pathways are failing. Ship consciousness is fragmenting. We must detach or lose everything." Varrock's eyes narrowed. "You've won this encounter, human. But know this, the Imperium will learn of your species now. This is not the end." "It doesn't have to be a conflict at all," Rice countered. "We're open to peaceful relations, cultural exchange, even trade. But we won't be conquered." The alien considered this for a long moment. Perhaps there is more to learn about humans than we anticipated. "Cease your attack, and we will withdraw." Rice nodded to Chen, who signaled the mining drones to pull back. The asteroid bombardment had already begun to taper off naturally. "A gesture of good faith," Rice said. "Now release our mining outpost from your control." The dampening field around the outpost dissipated. Immediately, communications flooded in from relief miners. The damaged Kadrock vessel began to move slowly away from the outpost, its once impressive hull now scared and pitted. Several sections were completely dark, the living metal struggling to regenerate. "Captain," Rivera called out, "they're transmitting data. Looks like star charts and some kind of diplomatic protocols." Rice raised an eyebrow. "It seems we've earned a measure of respect." "Or they're planning revenge," Jackson muttered. "Possibly both," Rice acknowledged. "Have Dr. Patil analyzed the data for any hidden threats?" She turned back to the view screen, where Overseer Varrock still watched her. "This encounter will be reported accurately," the alien said stiffly. "Your species' capabilities have been reassessed. We will meet again, Captain Alina Reyes." "I look forward to it, under more peaceful circumstances," she replied. As the alien ship limped away, accelerating slowly until it vanished into faster-than-light travel, the bridge of the Thunderchild erupted in cheers. They had faced a technologically superior enemy and emerged victorious through human ingenuity and determination. Captain Reyes allowed herself a small smile. "Communications, inform Earth Command of our encounter. And tell them." She paused, looking at the starfield where the alien ship had disappeared. "Tell them humanity has new neighbors." Later, as the Thunderchild's crew assisted in restoring the mining outpost, Commander Jackson approached his captain. "Do you think they'll be back?" Reyes nodded slowly. "Without question. But next time, they'll know not to underestimate us. And if they bring a bigger fleet, then we'll be ready," she said confidently. "Because that's what humans do best. We prepare, we adapt, and we overcome." The Kadrock learned something important today. "What's that, Captain?" Reyes smiled. "That technological superiority isn't everything. Sometimes the most dangerous weapon is the human mind." As the Thunderchild systems hummed around them, the crew went about their repairs with renewed purpose. Humanity had faced its first major extraterrestrial challenge and proven itself worthy of the stars. Whatever came next, they would be ready. The universe had just learned an important lesson. Never underestimate the ingenuity, resourcefulness, and sheer stubborn determination of the human race.